Okay, Doug, this is a video for you. So this is the GoPro. And, okay, so a few things that I got on here. Okay, so the GoPro is a little camera inside there. And this is the Ulanzi version 3, this case right here. And you can see it says, so you can see the GoPro is inside of this case. And this is a metal case. So the purpose of this is to keep this GoPro priority cable here. That is normally where you'd plug in your sync cable, so that you can actually be able to power up the battery and or sync it to your computer. Now, what this is doing. So this bit here is going to this little converter on the bottom here, and then this in turn is connecting to this audio cable, what is in turn connecting to this fluffy bit up here. Now the whole point, and this is actually a microphone inside of here, and this fluffy bit is basically to take out any, filter out the noise and the wind and so on. This bit up here is a leveling shoe. So typically, without these two pieces, this piece and this piece, you would actually have this a lot closer to your camera. And now you have a shoe mount here, you have a shoe mount right above the camera, but typically what happens is that when you shake so for example, you're holding it and you're walking, and what happens is that this fluffy bit up here gets stuck in the view of your camera there, and so you're going to see a lot of your gray hair at the top or side of your filming, and those are things that I'm trying to work out right now. Now, when I took my first video, it was like this, and so I think what's happening is that this guy here is sort of like, here's a piece here, and it's stitched right in the middle, and so that's causing this to actually be lower. So I've tried to turn it this way, and it appears that it is not as low, which was this way. It can actually absorb some of the sound without getting too much into the film viewing. Now, so what I've also done is I've moved this bit back. So initially, this red plastic mount was actually a lot closer to the end. So what I've tried to do is push it more forward so that this is actually a little higher, instead of, because I was finding it was getting lower, and so try to even it out so that it's not just tilting like this all the time, where you have the fuzzy piece getting inside the filming viewing area. So that is what I am doing right now. And let's see. And of course, this is a tripod. Well, not, I would say a monopod, a selfie stick. So you can hold like this. You can hold like this. This bit down here. So you actually can adjust this and adjust this, and then it becomes a selfie stick, and it has a little clicky thing here, so you extend that out, and next thing you know, you got yourself tighten, and boom, automatic selfie stick. And now one thing I'm curious about is that down here it seems a little loose, and so I was finding that when I was doing something like this, that it was wavering a little bit. So that's the whole point, is like you can have your selfie stick out here. So here I am holding it, and you just want to avoid too much of this fluffy rabbit's foot thing getting into the shot. And see, exactly. See how that's bending like that? Don't want that to be happening. So I don't know what's going on there. It's just, I'm like, I've got it as tight as it can go, think. And yet it doesn't want to play. Like I say, now it's happening up here too. Making it as tight as possible. And which is making me think that maybe the selfie stick just can't hold the weight of the camera. Or maybe it's meant for the camera without the microphone, external microphone, the little GoPro microphone converter, and the metal case around it. Maybe it's only meant for the lightweight plastic case. And what I might have to do is get so apparently another case that I saw, well, another microphone I saw, is actually basically instead of all this fancy getup with the external big microphone here and this, it's basically just a foam covering of the camera. And so that might be, I think that's basically what a lot of people who have, go bicycling or mountain biking will actually wear. They're not going to have something like this. This getup is primarily for vlogging. So for example, there you are, you're sitting down on a park bench, and you want to have a conversation with your audience. So that's where this comes into play, where you're basically going like this and like that. You're recording people, you're getting sort of a reaction from the crowd and so on. And so testing this out first, see how that goes. Oh, there's 2 different settings that I observed in the camera, and one is called so basically there's 5 different settings. There's mic plus, powered mic plus, and line in. So those are your 5 so I think by default it takes mic, and then if you want to make it louder, you do mic 2. So that's pretty much a quick summary of what I've been testing today. And yeah, so I'll figure this stuff out. It's a learning process. And yeah, so there's all sorts of accessories that you can keep on testing. And this guy down here, it actually has like a little, what's it? Yeah, so you turn this, and then out comes a little tripod, and then you can actually have it mounted and have basically a conversation without having to hold it in your hand the whole time. I have another tripod, another selfie stick, but it's a solid piece. So I imagine I would probably have to be using that one, because this one seems way unstable unless I like really put some elbow grease into tightening these different screws here along the way. So I think really it's meant for someone to use it as what is it? The compact, where it's now I put so much elbow grease into it, doesn't want to close anymore. All right, so something like this here, where you're basically like holding it all the time, but you're going to end up getting your arm in the shot a lot. So that's something to consider. This has a little final piece here, and now it's like that. So yeah, and so if you don't want to always be doing that, so I mean, it seems convenient, but at the same time, that convenience is traded off with instability. And so I might be trading off having a selfie stick, and this seems to have a mind of its own of rotating. So if I'm walking around a lot, if I'm shaking it, maybe it's going to start turning on me. So go from horizontal to vertical, which if I'm trying to record something, then that'll be problematic. So yeah, and yeah, so I made these purchases for this fun accessories before before my time with Dell ended, and so I suppose it's just a matter of me trying to make the most of them now, and try to cheer myself up. So I will talk to you later. Okay, bye now.